entitled Stepmonster, the wedding invitations from across the dining room table. Their cream-colored elegance starkly contrasting the turmoil in my chest. I've been staring at them for hours, pen hovering over the address list, stuck on one particular name. It should be simple. But Dad. My phone buzzes. It's Mom. Have you started addressing them yet? Sort of, I say, twisting a strand of hair around my finger, a habit I thought I'd broken years ago. I'm stuck at Dad's name. The weight of understanding in her single-word response, makes my throat tighten. I can't invite her. Mom, I won't. The words spill out like they've been held back for years. Haley, honey, it's your wedding, your day. Mom pauses, but her voice softens. You know what this means. I do. Memories flood back. Dad's empty chair at Christmas. Caroline's carefully worded excuses about his sudden flu. The same flu that magically cleared up the day after my art show or graduation. He always had reasons, always involve her. He won't come without her, I say, tracing the embossed edges of an envelope. But I can't do it, Mom. I can't watch her play doting stepmother for one more event. Not this time. My Caleb appears in the doorway, his hands carrying 2 mugs of tea. He sets one down beside me, silent but present, his steady gaze saying more than words. Remember Juniper's wedding? Mom's voice is gentle but firm. How could I forget? Caroline, resplendent in white, upstaged the bride, her theatrical tears stealing the father-daughter dance, lamenting how she'd never have that moment herself. And that's exactly why I can't invite her, I say, letting the warmth of the tea fill the hollowness in my chest. I won't let her turn my wedding into a stage for her drama. Mom sighs. Her father will be hurt. The bitterness burning ever since she moved into our house 2 months after Mom left. I grip the pen and finally put it on the paper. I'm addressing the invitation to Dad only. If he chooses not to come, that's his decision, not mine. Are you ready for the fallout? No. My hand shakes as I write. Michael Patterson, no guest. The envelope feels like a challenge, but I seal it anyway. 3 days after mailing the invitations, Dad's name lights up my phone. My stomach drops, but I answer. I just got your invitation, he says, his voice tired, older. There must have been a mistake. No mistake, Dad. I lean against the brick wall outside the gallery. The invitation is just for you, Ashley. He says my name like I'm 5 again, throwing a tantrum before bedtime. You know I can't come without Caroline. She's my wife, and I'm your daughter. I reply, my voice raw. At least, I used to be. Silence stretches between us, heavy with years of missed dinners and empty chairs. Is this about Christmas? He asks finally. It's about everything, Dad. Every single time you chose her over me. That's not fair. His tone grows defensive. I've never. Last month, I cut in. I invited you to dinner. Just you. You said yes, then conveniently had a work emergency. I did. I saw you, Dad, at Vincent's with Caroline. Same time, same night. I asked you to meet me at Mario's. Another heavy silence. I imagine him pinching the bridge of his nose. An old habit when confronted with uncomfortable truths. She'd had a rough day, he says finally. She needed me, and I didn't. The gallery door chimes. Juniper, my best friend, waves from inside. She mouths, "You okay?" I nod weakly. Dad, I have to go. I have a client waiting. Wait. His voice rises in desperation. Can we talk over dinner? Sure, Dad, I say, keeping my tone steady. Friday, 7 o'clock, at Mario's. But if Caroline shows up, I walk. Friday night, I sit at Mario's alone, watching the minutes tick by. 7:15, 7:30. The pitying glances from the waiters sting, but not as much as Dad's absence. Just as I'm about to leave, a familiar voice startles me. Ashley, I look up. It's Caroline's best friend, Angela. Her face pale and nervous. I need to tell you something, she whispers. Caroline, she made sure your dad wouldn't come. She hid his phone and called his office, pretending to be his assistant. Said there was an emergency meeting he couldn't miss. The world tilts slightly. What? Angela nods. She didn't want him to see you alone. She said she couldn't risk. A new voice cuts through the air. Angela. We turn. Caroline stands in the doorway, her smile icy and sharp. Darling, I didn't expect to see you here. What follows is a confrontation, years in the making, one where truths are finally spoken. Masks are shattered, and my father has to face the reality of his choices. By the morning of my wedding, everything has changed. Caroline is gone. Dad arrives alone. The weight of 15 years of regret visible in his every step. As I walk down the aisle, arm in arm with Caleb, I pass Dad sitting in the front row, clutching the letter I wrote him the night before, a letter of truth. Not anger. It's not an olive branch, but not a burning bridge either. This is my story not of revenge, but of choosing joy over bitterness. Sometimes, letting go isn't about destroying someone else's happiness. It's about finding your own and letting others witness the light you leave behind.